You guys gonna go play? Let's go, let's play. Yeah, they're gonna go. Yep. I'm in a animal professional and research training group and stuff, and somebody trainer posted in their video just bashing aversives and saying how they destroy, you know, they destroy dogs and all the side effects, and it was just saying that it's scientific too. And some people, they commented, and yeah, science, yeah. It was so unscientific, propaganda, utter bullshit. What you just saw there was negative reinforcement. Those dogs playing, that's aversive. That's the use of aversive in a game. That's negative reinforcement, what you just saw when dogs play like that. So this whole thing about a world without aversives and create this world for dogs and it's only positive reinforcement, and I mean there's so many flaws with that, but one basic one is these people have their heads so far up their ass. What you just saw there is aversive. They are escaping, avoiding aversive. That's what that play was. It's such bullshit, and it's a group that's supposed to you know move animal training ahead and science-based and all this stuff, and it's just such a bunch of nonsense what people say. And I don't care what kind of degree you have, what kind of education you have, when you speak nonsense, it's nonsense. This is negative reinforcement. So somebody I know commented and really destroyed the guy, destroyed the video, and the person who posted it didn't even respond to that. Once you get, see, they really think they're in an echo chamber, and then when somebody stood up and said, no, this is bullshit and here's why, they didn't even respond. Nothing. Negative reinforcement. Watch it. Negative reinforcement right here. That's all this is. Right, buddies? Destroying the dogs, right? If you know how to use aversives and you know how to use negative reinforcement, punishment, all of these things, it's part of what's baked into their DNA. It's part of who they are. It's part of how they learn. It's part of how they respond to things. Positive reinforcement is not better than negative reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is not better punishment. Positive reinforcement is different, and it should be used for different things. There are times where negative reinforcement is better. Come on, guys, come. Toby, come. So you have to know when to use each. This whole approach that positive reinforcement should always be used, it's superior if you use all of the ways that you use it and it doesn't work, then maybe we bring in an aversive. And of course they never do that. They just put the dogs to sleep. But that approach is completely flawed because it's not superior, it's different. There are certain times you should use it, and there are certain times negative reinforcement punishment is the thing that's better to use for what you're trying to achieve, period. Let's do a little recall here. Malcolm, come! You're looking at the ducks. Positive reinforcement, right? He was not taught to recall positive reinforcement. He was taught negative reinforcement. That's why he would go nuts when he saw animals and stuff like that. He was taught not positive reinforcement. He was taught with negative reinforcement to recall. Malcolm, come! And it's not being used right now. There's nothing being used right now. Positive reinforcement being used right now. Right? So, but he was taught negative reinforcement. Is he ruined? Is this dog destroyed? Malcolm, come! And you see the recall. Come on, buddy. Ha! Super. Super. Right? There's no negative reinforcement now. He was taught with it though. Come on, guys, let's go. Negative reinforcement. You're watching it. You're watching the proper use of aversive in play. These people aren't as smart as they think they are. You can teach negative reinforcement. Look at that. Negative reinforcement. You can teach negative reinforcement as a game. If you're teaching it, if you're teaching with positive reinforcement and then enforcing with negative reinforcement, that's way different than if you teach right out of the gate negative reinforcement as a game. Come on, Toby. Come here. Very few understand that. Very few know how to do that. It's much more effective if you teach with negative reinforcement right away. I teach the recall. I teach behaviors with negative reinforcement in the context of a game, as opposed to teaching with positive reinforcement and then you using the aversive to enforce it. Very different. You get a very different behavior product at the end. Very different.